Hi, I'm Annie, and I'm feeling pretty good. Today, I'm going to talk about how to hack your habits. And if you stick around to the end of this video, there's a bonus. I'm going to sing you a little song. I have too many creative projects, for sure. There are also so many daily tasks that need doing. I have a small business, a massage therapy practice. I also have an Etsy store, and there are tons and tons of household chores. They never end. I'm sure you're familiar with that dilemma. Everybody has chores. And there are also a lot of habits that I'm not required to keep, but I want to keep them. They're important to me, just for my own enrichment and growth. I'd like to run regularly, strength train, stretch, keep a daily journal, eat well, daily guitar and vocal practice, and continual education. It's really important to me to always be learning, and it can be really overwhelming to try to complete all these tasks every day. The truth is that if you're not intentional about the structure of your day, these things just aren't going to get done. If it's not scheduled, it's not going to get done. I'm really solid on some of my habits. I run about 4 or 5 times a week like clockwork. It's just natural to me. And it wasn't always that way. I started running when I was 37. Pretty late to the game, but at this point, I'm nearly 43. I am solid on that habit because that habit has become something that I need. I really need to run. I need it for my mental health, and it also helps me with my creativity and problem solving. So I will never give that one up. It's very natural to me. I would miss it if I didn't run. I'm a little bit less consistent with strength training and with daily stretching. So those are habits I'd like to work on. Journaling's pretty easy for me because I do it every morning when I drink coffee. It's a no-brainer. Eating well also at this point is just built into my life, and I wasn't always like this. I used to eat a lot of junk food. I grew up in the 80s watching cable TV and eating Oreos, spaghetti, ice cream. But I think when I got into my mid-30s, I got really serious about nutrition. And at some point I realized that it's just easier to be healthy. It's just more efficient to be fit and healthy than to not be. And so now that's so automatic. It's so built into the way that I live that I don't really have to think about it. Continual learning is really built into my life as well. That's not something that I need to try to do. It just happens. I'm a big fan of audiobooks and podcasts and YouTube. I listen to this enriching material while I'm doing my household chores. I find there are certain tasks that I can easily do while I'm giving my full concentration to the material that I'm listening to. So I can listen to audiobooks while I'm chopping wood, or while I'm doing the dishes, or doing the laundry. Certain really simple automatic tasks are easy to do. So every time I wash the dishes, I'm listening to audiobooks because that's when I get it done. Daily guitar practice and singing is something that I just am really failing at. I'm really bummed out that in the beginning of 2019, one of my resolutions was to sing every day and to practice guitar, and I've really dropped the ball on that one. Now, if you're a singer, you might be aware that if you don't sing and use your voice regularly, it just kind of rusts shut. And that's what's happened to me. I just haven't had consistent, regular vocal practice over the last 10 years, and my voice has really changed. I don't have the vocal range and flexibility that I used to. And when I do sit down with my guitar to practice, it actually wears me out. It feels really exhausting because I'm just out of condition. And this is such a simple thing. I asked myself, is there not some way that you could just sing a little bit every day? I mean, that would be easy. But for some reason, I've had difficulty establishing that habit this year. Recently, I got really serious about that habit, and I said to myself, we're going to fix this. We are going to find a way to make this part of the daily routine. And I thought of a really cool hack for daily habits, and I've been using it for the last 3 weeks, and I have been singing every day, and it's awesome. Years ago, I used to be into belly dance practice. I would go to classes, and there was a belly dance teacher that one time told us that we should always practice our belly dance moves while we were brushing our teeth. Hey, that's not bad. I'm surprised I can still do that. Kind of. So the point of this exercise is a few things. Number one is that you always get at least a little bit of practice in, because most people, hopefully, brush their teeth every day. So if you do a little bit of belly dance practice while you're brushing your teeth, you're automatically getting that practice in every day or maybe even twice a day. You're training that belly dance motion into your body so that it becomes automatic and it becomes so natural and ingrained in your muscle memory that you can even do it while you're doing, an opposite motion, brushing your teeth. That really made an impression on me, and I started to think about other things that you can do together. So there are a lot of examples of this. One way to really solidify a habit is to ritualize it, and that's what I'm doing with my daily coffee. When I drink coffee, I write in my journal. I do it every day. There's the ritual of the warm beverage and writing in the journal and reflecting, maybe thinking about what's on the schedule for the day, and just kind of setting the tone for the day. In the morning, there's always going to be coffee, and that automatically, for me, means that there's always going to be journaling. Listening to an audiobook and doing chores is another one. Another thing that I'll often do, if I ever do remember to get my yoga mat out and do my daily stretches, I will almost always be watching YouTube in the background or listening to an audiobook, because it just makes sense to do those two things at once. And here's another example that's been really helpful to a lot of my clients in my massage therapy practice. So many of my clients ask me, what can I do about my neck and shoulder tension? And I always tell them that daily stretching will help. But the thing about stretching is that it doesn't work unless you do it. If you wait until your neck is really tense and you're really uncomfortable, and that's the only time you remember to stretch, it's not going to be that helpful. But if you stretch your neck preemptively every day, then it keeps you loose and it trains your body to remain relaxed. But it's not easy for people to establish this new habit of stretching their neck every day. So what I tell people is simply stretch your neck every time you're in the shower. The efficiency of this is beautiful to me, because you're in the shower and the warm water is hitting you on the back of your neck, and at the same time you do your stretches. And most people shower, right? Maybe not every day, but a few times a week. So if you remember to stretch your neck every single time you're in the shower, then you'll get a lot of neck stretching done throughout your week. It might be difficult to establish this habit in the beginning, but once you've done it 10 times or so, you will always remember. It's beautiful. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a time and a place for multitasking. For some people, the thing that you might need is to focus completely on your task. There is a beauty to washing the dishes and giving that task your full attention. It's very like Zen or whatever. There might be a time and a place in your life where that's what you need, and that's the thing that you should focus on. But for me, I love combining habits. It just works really well. It makes it so that I can get more of my daily habits done. So here's where we come to the new habit chunking that I am so excited about lately. I've been doing this every time I'm driving in my car. I sing. Now there's a trade-off, because normally when I'm in my car, I would listen to New Country, because New Country is hilarious. If you want to laugh, put it on New Country. Those lyrics are gold. It's like stand-up comedy. Some of that shit is just so funny. But there's a trade-off. I'm not listening to as much New Country in my car when I'm driving to work, but I'm singing. So I am getting in my daily singing practice every day when I go to work and every day when I drive home. And my drive is 12 to 14 minutes. So I'm getting potentially 20 minutes of singing a day. And that is better than nothing. So my vocal flexibility is increasing bit by bit. And just having that music in my body and in my mind is actually inspiring me to also pick up my guitar when I get home and practice guitar also. The reason that this new habit is so beautiful to me is because there was another habit that I've been working on in 2019. I decided that I would take the most tense moments in my life. I thought about what those are. Those for me are driving. I feel really agitated because there's just so much chaos out there. Stupid people not paying attention, just traffic and insanity, and it makes me feel really tense, and I can get agitated and angry when I see people not following the rules or not paying attention. So that's one of my tense situations. By the way, the other main tense situation is when I'm in the grocery store and people are walking slowly in front of me. I'm not browsing. I know why I'm there, and I hope to walk directly to it and grab it off the shelf and put it in my cart. But there are these people that are just staring at the shelf like they never saw saw food before and they don't know what they went in there for. That's just not how I operate. So I can get a little bitchy at the grocery store because I just feel like I want to get the stuff and go home. I'm just very like on task, and I feel like everybody else is just so leisurely, like they have nowhere to be. I don't understand that. But anyway, back to the traffic thing. I've been doing this practice as much as I can throughout 2019, where every time I'm in my car, I make a point to relax and just not get worked up. I was just trying to use the drive as a kind of meditation to remain calm and cool and alert and just not get worked up, not let any of the stupidity or chaos trigger me. For years and years, I'd been driving in a certain position that was really tight and, hunched up, and the mirror was in a certain position where I could see. And then when I relaxed, I needed to adjust the mirror. I just thought that was really funny. So what's so beautiful to me about this singing in the car habit is that it really enhances that relaxation. For me, when I'm singing, I need to be relaxed. If I'm not relaxed, there's going to be a lot of vocal strain and it's not going to sound very good, and it's going to be uncomfortable and just exhausting. So one of the things that you need to do when you're singing is remain relaxed. And so that helps me stay relaxed while I'm driving. And the singing doesn't seem to distract from my alertness. It's very, very important to me to pay attention while I'm driving, as it should be for you and everyone. Very important. There's something about singing that seems like it creates a relaxed attention. I don't know what it's doing in the brain. Maybe I should look that up. But what it reminded me of is, when some people stutter, they have a stuttering issue, and yet somehow they can sing without stuttering. It's really interesting. It's because they're using a different part of the brain. And also people with Parkinson's disease, they shake and they don't have smooth control of their muscles, but sometimes they can dance. Isn't that cool? So a lot of times physical therapists who are working with people that have Parkinson's disease will incorporate dancing as part of the physical therapy. I think that is just so beautiful. I don't know for sure. I didn't do the research, but for me, when I'm singing in the car, I actually feel more alert and just, it's a super relaxed attention. So 2019 is coming to an end, and I feel like I'm finally nailing this singing every day habit. And I think that if I always do this in my car, it'll just be a lifelong thing. And singing actually has other health benefits. It boosts your immunity. It increases your health and wellness overall. It increases vagal tone, and increasing your vagal tone helps eliminate anxiety. So I made this one simple change, singing while I'm driving, but it serves so many purposes, and I just think the efficiency of it is beautiful. Isn't that amazing? So how are you doing with your habits? Do you have anything like that in your life? Let us know in the comments below. I grew up dreaming of being a cowboy and loving the cowboy way. Pursuing the life of my high-riding heroes. I burned up my childhood days. I learned all the roles of a modern-day drifter. Don't hold on to nothing too long. Just take what you need from the ladies and leave them with the words of a sad country song. My heroes have always been cowboys, and they still are, it seems, sadly in search of one stepping back of themselves in their slow-moving dream. Now, cowboys are special for their own brand of misery, from being alone so long. You could die from the cold in the arms of a nightmare, knowing well that your best days are gone. Picking up hookers instead of my pen, I let the words of my youth fade.
away. Old worn out saddles and old worn out memories, with no one and no place to stay. My heroes have always been cowboys, and they still are, it seems, sadly in search of the one stepping back of themselves and their slow moving dreams.